I don't even know how to start these anymore. I'm supposed to give you guys a hug, offer you some Skittles. I don't know. Hello, welcome back. It's been a while. If you think you've missed anything from the last episode of my Satisfactory series, the answer is no. No, you did not. Well, I guess I'll show you. I have a Christmas tree. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? Like I did try out the Fixmas event this year just so I could get a feel for it. I kind of skipped over it last year, so. But, like I said, welcome back. It's time for another Satisfactory episode and continue this series. It's been too long. I haven't played that much, pretty much at all, except for this little bit of Fixmas stuff. And we need to finally make some progression. So, today, it's all about some coal power. I am thoroughly desperate for some coal power. We are pretty much running on empty, and I don't want to have to fill these machines anymore. Thus, I committed to like unlocking the better recipe for like hunting animals and stuff, but I think it's better if we just get ourselves some coal power. I know by this point, probably not a lot of people doing a follow along build, so I think we'll just go back to basics, and we're just going to have some fun playing some Satisfactory. I might play some other stuff too, but today it's all about the factory. So we're going to jump into our tractor here. We're going to be loaded up for making a 32 coal generator power plant, which means we also need 12 water extractors and 2 miner Mark IIs, which I did unlock, I think, technically between episodes. And then we are going to unlock probably our fix-it blueprints, I think, before we go off and do anything, because I think that'll probably speed up the process a little bit here. We can probably make some coal generators that they don't know how many you can fit in a Mark I blueprint, but we'll give it a shot. So let's go ahead and grab, what is it, 100 modular frames, 200 steel plates, 500 wire cable, and 1000 concrete. So let's go ahead and grab that stuff, we'll throw it in there, and then we'll meet you guys back here. All right, for the first time in 2025, I think, let's hit this big red button. All right, finally got some blueprints.
Milestone reached. Blueprints reduce repetitive building tasks, further optimizing your progression towards saving Earth, with its beautiful ecosystems, abundant natural resources, and sunsets over frolicking puppies and kittens. The blueprint designer allows you to build and combine structures once and then duplicate that configuration effortlessly. Any complaints about the spatial restrictions will only reveal your own inefficiencies.
Sweet Jesus, finally, we have some blueprints. Okay, so, I don't want to mess with this too much at this point because I want to keep this, I know the Fixmas event is over, so I'm sure you guys know that the trees kind of stop pumping out gifts. I do still have a handful of them left over, not that I can really do anything with them now anyway. Unless the recipes are still in the game. I don't know, the recipes still in the game? No. Okay, so there's nothing I can do with those things anymore. Probably at least, I mean, I'm sure you can probably save them until the next Fixmas event, and maybe it'll carry over. But at least for now, we get a nice little Christmas tree to hang out in the world forever. But yeah, we're going to head on over to, this is where I have built a coal power plant in the past, and it just so happens to be one of my favorites. I know a lot of people do head over to the Blue Crater to do it, but I actually tend to do an oil setup over there. I mean, there's a few things you can do over in the Blue Crater, but I really like this little hole here. But I'm also obviously going to set it up a little bit different than I did last time. So let's head on over there and we'll get started. Oh god, I haven't driven in so long, this is going to be an absolute mess. Alright, we made it. My tractor is a little different now because as I was driving over here, I fell off the cliff into the water. So I had to just quickly throw down a new one. Now, if you guys remember from my last save, this one was actually a radioactive node, which made building this such a pain. Thankfully, that didn't happen this time. We've got only a sulfur and just a little iron node here, so a little bit safer for a working area. You may notice I did go ahead and cut down all the trees, just to kind of save ourselves a little bit of time here. We are going to have to take out our little, I guess I forgot my gun, so I'm going to have to use my little beaten stick. We're going to have to deal with a few of the locals here. So we're going to have to run on over here. These are the two nodes I'm going to use today. If you didn't know, this area actually has 4 nodes. You got the 2 here, and then there's another 2 over here. One is currently blocked by this rock. We're not going to worry about these 2 just yet, but I will be using these in the future to expand this power out a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and take these guys out really quick too, if I can. Not too worried about taking a little bit of damage. They don't hurt too much. Alright, how do I put stuff away? Nope. Oops. H, there we go. Like I said, it's been a while. I haven't played Satisfactory in a little bit now. But, yeah, I really missed you guys. You know, had a lot of stuff going on and got through the holidays, and now I'm all set up in Virginia, and I can, you know, start to record some, feeling better again, and starting to think I can record some more videos for you guys and continue this series. So here we are. As always, if you got any, I believe that means we just ran out of power. So in order to get all this up and running, we are going to have to probably start it. I don't know if I'll have to build a little power plant over here just to like jumpstart it, or I'll have to get it all set up, and then to fire it all up, I'll have to go back to the base and fire it up that way. Yeah, excited to get this, excited to play some Satisfactory again, get this stuff going. So thank you guys for coming back as always, and if you're new here, welcome. Let's get some good building going. So I'm going to grab some 2 meters. Actually, I'm going to grab 4 meters. Let's start that way. We'll start with our little block section for our miners here. I'm just going to hold control to make sure I'm actually on the world grid. I want to make sure this is actually all connected when I'm done. I guess I should put it in Zoop. Alright, I made 2 3x3 platforms for my miners. Let's go ahead and put down our miner Mark IIs. So I'm going to use these, and then we're going to overclock them both to pump out the 240. Well, actually, I guess I could bump them up a little bit more to do the 270, and then we'll just add a few more. I think I'll start it pumping them out at 240 for now, and then we'll maybe adjust to get, because I could get another technically 60 out of it in total, at least on the Mark III belts. And then from there, we could add in maybe just a little bit more coal power if we really need it. I don't really think we'll need it, to be honest. But so let's go ahead and get these set up with 3 power shards each, I think. Oh no, just need 3. Okay, or sorry, just 2. Okay, so my general game plan for building this whole coal power plant this time, because I don't just want to ship the coal down here and just, you know, slap down some coal generators in the water plant and stuff like that. So what I'm actually going to do is, who wants some? Who wants some? You want a smooch? I'll give you a smooch. Here you go. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to set up a the water facility down here. We'll call it like the pump house. And then we'll send those, or we'll build some pipelines going up to here, and we'll build the actual like coal power facility up in here, and then we won't have to send the coal actually quite as far. So when we want to add in the rest of that, it should make it a little bit easier. So I think from here, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this lookout tower down for now, and I'm just going to fill in a little bit more of this going along here. Alright, sorry to just kind of skip ahead a little bit, but we got a little platform put in, and I also decided I'm going to switch it to concrete because I think it'll look a little better. So from here, this is basically just going to be strictly reserved for the mining area. Don't know what's going on. What are you guys all excited for over there? You a little scared of the dark? So what we're going to do is I'm going to have these, I don't want to combine them together. I mean, also I can't combine them together because I can't move 480 things yet. I mean, eventually we can. But so today is going to be all about getting these set up into their single lines. They're probably going to get sent up to another floor. So I think since we have to use water, speaking of which, thing I forgot to mention, obviously you may see I don't have very many copper sheets on me. And we're going to need a whole lot more for all the piping that we're going to have to do here. So I will be running it back to get that at some point. Would be another nice thing to get hooked up to the dimensional depot, but right now all I have is reanimated SAM, modular frames, and rotors. I might take the reanimated SAM out of there. I'm not really sure if I need it. And it's because I can only, well, you can only have a certain number of dimensional depots, but I can only have 3 right now. Or I only have the materials for 3, and one is currently bringing me just the reanimated SAM, so I don't have to do that like crazy long trip all the way over to the facility. Yeah, so what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to start setting up the area for where the first round of coal generators are going to be. Like I said, we're going to be doing 32. So I'll probably do them in like maybe groups of 8, I think is the easiest, because then you can just run 2 pipes to each. So that would be 4 groups of 8. That each would get 2 pipes. We'd also need room for like 8 pipes to be running all up and through. Well, I mean, and that's just for this set, like, let alone what if we added in more for the other one. So we're going to need a few different floors for doing this one. So let's, I think, bust out our our new friend, but old friend from prior playthroughs. There we go. We're going to get this set up, the blueprint designer. So we're going to make some blueprints really quick, just to make this a little bit easier.
Once you have built a satisfactory blueprint, interact with the blueprint designer terminal to save it. It will then be available in the Blueprints tab of your build menu. Blueprints can always be edited to correct mistakes or optimize. If you find yourself struggling to work within the set size restrictions, remember that this is a you problem, and efficiency can always be improved.
It usually is a me problem. Anyway, so yeah, I wanted to get these set up. We can get these going. I usually like to use what they call logistics floors. So a really easy way to put those in without having to do a whole lot of work is to first start out with a 2-meter foundation on the floor here. There we go. So we covered the bottom layer, and then now I just want to figure out how many I want to go up, which is usually for a logistics floor. I usually like to have a fair, like, not a ton of room, so that I'm not like building like super vertical, but I don't want to be too squished in there either. So I'm going to go up by 3 4-meter foundations, and then we're going to bring these back to Zoop, bring those across, take those 4-meter foundations out, and then I'm going to have to get off my tower here. This is going to hurt. I need to get the parachute and or soon the jetpack, but jetpack we are at least have to get out of the current game phase we're in so we can unlock the jetpack and like oil and all that stuff. Okay, so that is our first logistics floor building put in. I guess technically you could even do it as like, I could maybe do it as 1 meter, just so I can get myself that little bit more headspace. Because you can put conveyor lift holes in the one, yeah, you can put conveyor lift holes in the 1 meter floor. So I think maybe what I'll do, just to make that a little bit easier, give myself just that little bit more headroom. Alright, I changed my mind. I put it back to 2 meters. Because I think it'll just, be a little bit easier to keep it cleaner that way. So, what I'll do now is I will save this. Call this a 4x4, oop, not a money by 4. 4x4 concrete. There we go. 4x4 concrete logistics floor. Has a 10-meter gap in between floors. And I know that because it was 12 and then I cut off 2. Alright, boring part done. Now let's make some blueprints for our coal generators. So let's see how many we can actually fit on here. Oh, not that. That's a smelter. What are you doing, Chef? Step it up here. Power. There we go. So let's go ahead and grab these bad boys. Shift them all the way to the back as far as you can. And it looks like I'm not going to be able to quite get 4, but it looks like I should be able to get at least 3. So I'm going to put this one right smack in the middle. Right there. And one right there.
Most pioneers already
Don't
had
yell at me.
power set up by this point because they understood their responsibility to humanity. Adjusting Pioneer Attitude Metrics. Reminder. Coal-powered generators require coal.
Oof. I'm getting yelled at. I'm getting sassed. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to set up the... Hopefully there's enough room here. I'm going to be sad if I can't actually fit it the way I want to. We are going to need some pipeline products here, so that's why I do have some copper sheets in my inventory. I need to grab the pipeline support. And I'm going to bring it out as far as I possibly can here in the blueprint, I think. Unless I don't need to. Actually here, because I'm going to need splitters in here, right? So let's do the splitters first. I don't want them to be like sandwiched in too close to where I can't see anything. Need to be able to tell our logistics. So this needs to be a Mark III conveyor belt. So if I hit E, I can cycle through the belts there. And then you just need the Mark I going into the actual machines. Let's not waste materials here. And then, so now that I know how those are going to be, I'm actually going to take these belts out here. Just so it makes putting the rest of this in a little bit easier. Grab our pipeline support. And we're going to bring it out. Actually, let me see where the belts lie. Actually, yeah, that's fine. So I don't have to squeeze it all the way out to the edge. I'll just do it from there. So we'll go... So you want to bring it all the way up. I'm going to do it all the way down the line here. I'm going to grab my pipeline Mark I. Okay, there we go. Now everybody fits. I just had to line it up on that back line here. And honestly, it doesn't even clip through the belts. It just kind of goes up beside them. So that's fine. So let's go ahead and put the Mark III belts back. You guys need to go now that you're in there. Now I'm going to turn these into horizontal to vertical, so I get a nice clean... No! Is it too close? It's too close. Man, I really thought you could blueprint this out, but... Oh, it's the refineries that... Because I was like, I don't think I've ever actually blueprinted this out before, and now I'm realizing it's the refineries that I've blueprinted this out before. But that's okay. We'll have this at least set up with the conveyor belts and the splitters. That'll still save me time. Okay, so update. I painted it yellow. I used the swatch 11 and I made the yellow just a little bit more deep, vibrant, whatever you want to call it. And I painted everything the same color to match. I think it looked pretty, just kind of like I want to use more of the colors and stuff in my playthrough this time. I had everything look the exact same last time. I think I'll kind of, switch it up a little bit this time. So since I can't fit like my pipe setup in on this blueprint maker, we can go ahead and save this for putting them down, and it'll be a little bit, just save a little bit of time putting this all together. Still have to do all the pipes and stuff by hand, but that's okay. So let's hop down here and we'll save it, and then we can move on. Alright, so I was just kind of trying to plan out some infrastructure, and I got a little carried away. So I've now, not super important that I set up the water pump, just some test water pumps there to see how much space I needed. I kind of wanted to get a layout for what the whole facility was going to look like, and it turns out you need a lot of space. So I went ahead and I just kind of laid out enough room for 2 rows of 16 coal generators. They'll be in 2 groups of 8 with just like a little bit of space in between, so we'll be able to set up some like walking paths in between. Last time I kind of just set this up as a basic nothing factory, and this time I actually want to make it like a kind of a cool looking actual coal facility. So we got the logistics floor in between there. You can see that that's where we're going to feed the lines of raw coal, and then as well we're going to pump the water up from down here. Some of that might go into the side there. I thought it might also be cool if we just kind of pumped it up and put pipes along the roof, and that would look kind of cool, and the water could just drop down in from above, and that would make feeding the machines easier anyway. Yeah, if you were trying to follow along, I apologize, I just kind of skipped it. I got a little ahead of myself on how big this was actually going to be, so Turns out I needed a lot more room, so I actually had to go like 24, at least 24 long in both sections. I'm actually going to have the coal generator, so quite a bit of space I just took up. So now, without further ado, we can actually move on to the actual building process of this like factory with all the generators and everything. So, and how we're going to lay everything out. I'm just kind of up here in an observation tower for right now. I got to kind of jump down. I think I can jump down safely into the water, which I'm going to try and do and see if that actually, maybe I'll survive. I should survive. There we go. Swimming any better yet? Nope. At least you don't drown in this game, but it's hard to, there we go. Okay, so now that I'm down here, I think the first thing I'll actually start with is actually doing my coal generator layouts. So we'll head all the way up to the very, very top floor here, and then I'm going to head on to the front corner here. So what I want to do is I want to make sure I have at least one foundation around all of everything that's showing. So I'm actually going to turn these into concrete, just to kind of mark it out. And then we'll be able to fill everything from there. So I'm going to make this all asphalt, just so I know where I'm building everything. And then let's grab our blueprint for our power generation, our 3 coal generator belt. And then actually, you know what, this is probably a lot easier if I grab another lookout tower. Just plop it down here. There we go, much easier. Okay, so we're gonna grab the blueprint, 3 coal generator power plant. So we're gonna hold it in hold it in place with H, just so I make sure it's all lining up correctly, because I don't actually think it is. Yeah, so I want to nudge it just into place like that. And actually, I might just give myself just a little bit extra room here, just like that. Around the border like that, if I can. I think I should be able to have myself some extra space like that. And then I'm going to do another set of 3 of those. I'll color the floor and after. And then I want to do one more. I'm just going to add this to my hotbar actually. It's this hotbar for now. I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to delete the one off the end. So I'm going to put it, that's technically 9 right now. So I'm just going to get rid of this, and this, and these belts here. And that is my first group of 8. So let's go ahead and grab the asphalt here. Hopefully this worked out properly. Okay, so the way I set it over there, where I shifted it in one, it's actually going to send it out an entire one. So maybe I won't do that. I'll have to, we'll fix this really quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to line it up and not give that little tiny gap I just did. Alright, there we go. I shifted it back into place, so now it actually sits properly with everything else. And now it lines up all along back here. So now what I'm going to do is I just want to leave a 1 gap in between before I sit down my next 8. We're going to grab our blueprint. We're going to line it up here. I'm going to try and aim it. I'm going to just kind of set it down with H like that, and make sure I actually have my 1 gap in between. This is why I really like being able to hold buildings and blueprints and everything in spot with the H button. Really gives a better control of actually like where you're placing everything. So we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing here, where we set down. Hello, how'd you get up here? He's gonna get stuck, and then we're just gonna delete this one off the very end. And you know what? I'm not entirely sure I like how that looks, so you think I might change it to, we'll start from this end and we'll work our way inwards. How about that? Okay, looking pretty good so far. We got our first group of 8 here and our second group of 8 here. The only thing I might change on this one is the fact that I don't particularly want, I don't think I want the coal running that way. I think I'll end up switching all the splitters and belts to feed it all going this direction instead, so that this one's coming this way and this one's going this way. Or I will split this one and I'll turn it the other way so that I can have like one come up here, one come up here. I mean, I guess we'll kind of figure it out as we go. But that is the first group of 16 done. Now we got to do the second group, which is going to be on this section back here. So exact same thing over here. We're going to grab our generator manifold blueprint here. We're going to come around to the back. We're going to line it up with this corner right here. So just doing a little bit of nudging, just like that. We'll put in those ones. Take out this back one. And then how much space did I give myself in between over here? I'm not sure I have the exact same amount of space over here, so I just want to double check. It looks like it's actually a 2 wide gap, which is kind of perfect. So we're going to go on over here. And I will put down another 8 right here, lined up from this side. Or I guess I can just start from a 2 gap in between. So we'll go to about right there. Lock it with H, and then it just has to line up with this corner right here, I think. No, it does not. It has to line up with that corner right there. Alright, climbed all the way up the mountain just to get a nice little bird's eye view. So we've got our 4 groups of 8 coal generators here, coal power generators. Looks kind of cool so far, actually. So I left that gap in between open so that we can either boost the coal production to double this in the future, or I can basically just suck all that coal up out of there and just send it off to do something else. Which honestly may not be a bad idea, because one thing I forgot to mention too is this area is actually a pretty decent steel. Like if you were to make like a really, really big steel production, because there's tons of coal, there's a few iron nodes, like there's like a couple down there, and some there's limestone here too. And then there's some more iron up here. So I even think there might be some copper nearby. So you basically make like basically all the steel products in the game from this section here. But I like to use it as my little coal section. So anyway, that is now our, that's it for the coal powered generators we need to place. So the only thing I need to do now is, I guess, hook up the belts, in between them all. They're all kind of hooked up already. And then we're going to move on to, well, I guess we'll have to do the manifold section underneath. So this miner right here is going to get connected to this section here. I think it can actually all be fed technically as one line, but probably what I'll do is I will feed, I'll feed it from like one section. Like I'll send one line in here, and then I'll just like maybe split it to like 2 heads that feed these. And then it should feed it exactly even if I split it right down the middle. Because yeah, even though they're in groups of 4, I don't need the 4 miners to actually feed them all. Unless you didn't overclock, like if you were doing no overclocking, you definitely need all 4 nodes. But either way, let's go ahead and get the sun coming up, and we'll get started on the belt logistics here. All right. Beautiful sun is coming up, and we're going to go ahead and get started with miner number 1 here. So we got, I went ahead and I just threw a little conveyor hole wall in here. I think I'm actually just going to change to the concrete. There we go. I think I'll actually bring, not that wall down, but bring the normal walls down just to make that kind of flush and clean. And then from there, I'm going to take a Mark III conveyor belt, and it's going to run into a Mark III lift. So I need to go grab the logistics Mark III conveyor lift. Oops. I want to connect it to the hole here. Spin it around. And then we're going to run a Mark III conveyor belt on over to the machine here. Okay, so Mark III belt into Mark III lift. So now we're going to head on up to these middle floor here. Hop off right in this section. So this is where we're going to have to set up the, essentially this section of where we're going to feed all of those machines up there. Now, last time I made this a little bit more complicated by doing it so early. I didn't have the same belt speeds that I have now. So this is definitely going to be a little bit easier because, like I said, I can feed this entire section off of that one Mark III belt. The only thing is I want to make sure I have it be a little bit clean here in between. So I think I am going to do, potentially, I guess it wouldn't really make a big deal which sides you feed it from. So this one would have to get fed from this side. Just totally, and actually that would probably, actually I probably will swap it around because that would end up blocking the pipe hole for this. So I'm going to have to swap these around really quick. Is that going to work for over here? Yeah, actually, now that I look at this, the entire blueprint was wrong, and I should have had it feeding from the other way. That's my bad. Because yeah, if I tried to feed them this way, they'd get right in the way of the floor hole there. So I'm gonna have to swap around all the splitters and belts here. So hang tight while I do that, and then we'll jump back in and we'll get this set up properly. All right, problem solved. Everyone is turned around. I guess you could probably say it's been a while since I've played this game. We're getting back into it, and eventually we'll be in a smooth flow of things. You won't believe the factories we'll put together. Just kidding. It's always going to be a struggle. So yeah, let's make sure these are facing the right way. Get our Mark III belts feeding in there. So that'll be conveyor belt number 1. Actually, and I just realized, since I'm not actually fully connecting these, I could dumb these down to Mark II. I'm not going to bother at this point because then I just, have to go through them all and change it. But these could be Mark II conveyor belts because I'm not actually combining this whole thing together. I think in my original mind, I was combining it all together. Oh wait, no, that is actually, yeah, it does need to be Mark III. Never mind. Don't see, I'm terrible at math and don't listen to everything I say. So we're going to have that hooked up there. And that is going to, all right, no, yeah, I guess technically it could be 120, but just forget about it and we're going to move on. Okay, so now down for the actual part, now down on the logistics floor for the coal. So you have one hole here, one hole over here. Both of these need 120 each. So I'm going to still give the Mark III lifts just because, I don't know, I feel like it. I'm going to face them towards me like this. So that will hopefully allow me to kind of come along. And then I can do one splitter more or less right in front of this one. I'll line it up with these squares here. So we'll grab one splitter. I don't even know why I was doing that. They're in my hotbar. Make sure it's facing the right way though. So we'll lock it there. I don't think that's lined up. It is not. Okay, so here we go. I don't know why that says it. There we go. So I don't know why that says it's clipping occurring, but so I'm going to have to send that belt pretty much all the way down there. I guess maybe just conserve room under here. I could run it to about here. We'll run it down along here. Just like that. Okay. So that is that coal line set up, and then this one we're just going to run down here. Spaghetti mass, what are you talking about? Is it because everything's straight? I was like, I built everything the straight way. There we go. Okay, so that is our first 2 coal plants fed. So you know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to get those fed right now. If I even can. I'll have to throw together just one biomass burner here. Should be enough to do what I actually need. 2. It was 2 biomass burners that I need to run one of these miners. So I just kind of wanted to preload some of the coal line here if I could. And what I might even do just while I'm putting together the other one, just so I have some coal at least ready to go, is I might throw it into a storage box if it has to. And then I'll just kind of like reroute, like if I find this like stops really fast, I'll just like reroute it into a storage bin so we get like some overflow to start filling some of these things up. Actually, I think I'll do that right now. So we'll just grab a splitter. And I'll put just a little storage container on the side here. And we'll start filling that with coal, and then when we're actually ready to fill the rest of it, that way I'm not, I can save this to also power up this generator. I'll have a bunch of coal ready to go to just kind of feed into the machines. So we'll let that go while we go set up this other one over here. So we're going to go the same thing we did over there where we grab a lift. I'm going to bring it down and turn it this way. And then I'm going to grab a Mark III conveyor belt. Did I not reverse it again? You are correct. I'm letting fix it down all over the place today. Okay, there we go. So that's number 2 all set up and done. I thought I could maybe make it up there. I probably could if I actually tried better. So let's go ahead and head on over here. So those are starting to feed up into those machines now. I don't think they'll actually start taking the coal until they're actually plugged in. So just, oh, they do start filling up with coal. Okay, so then this is entirely unnecessary. I thought they were like some of the other machines where they don't take anything in until later. So let's just go ahead and stop doing that. So once that actually stops and backs up, that means I'll know the coal line is all filled up and ready to go. So now heading back up to the top floor here. I just realized I haven't set these ones up to be backwards again yet. So I'm going to have to do that really quick. And then we're just going to do the same thing over again. All right, there we go. Got everything all swapped around. I put in the floor holes so that they're all connected up on the end. And then we're just going to come back down to the bottom here. Maybe I can do this in the stairs. Nice. We're just going to do the same thing where we grab the conveyor. Wait. Oh, I was like, wait, where are the holes? It's just because they're further away this time. So we got one right here. Coming down like that. And then I was honestly thinking of, like I was saying earlier, I was thinking of doing the pipes coming in from the roof. I might still do that, but I feel like it might be a little silly because that means I have all this logistic floor space for like 2 conveyor belts, and that's it. But I mean, it's definitely obviously gonna be more filled in bigger factories going forward. But this one has a lot of. If you guys remember my prior way I used to build things, I was always running out of space. I need to go grab some more steel beams. I was always running out of space, and like just leaving like just not enough room for everything. So. Alright, I went back to get some steel beams, and I figured while I was there, I would also grab the copper pipes and everything we're going to need for coming up for the actual water facility, the water pump part of this build. So, but first we're going to get this all set up and finished, so I just need one splitter right here, getting fed from that backside. That definitely does not line up. I don't know why I did that. Now it does. So we got our Mark III conveyor belt going into there. Oh, I didn't realize how far away that was. Okay, well, it's going to have to... I'll just set that up a little further down like that. Conveyor belt is too long. I'll run it to there first, and then run it to there. And we can finish this one right here. Nope, it didn't want to go in. Why not? There we go. Get in your home, ball. Actually just watched Happy Gilmore not too long ago. Oh, and I can't wait for Happy Gilmore 2 to come out. So anyway, here we have our first coal line set up. So I think that one's probably, it's got to be close to getting backed up pretty soon. And then we'll be able to fire this one on. So while we wait for all our coal to fill up on our giant manifold line, which obviously if you were splitting all this like in a perfect manner, it would fill up a little bit. Oh, yeah, see, it's already getting backed up. So that'll be ready to go in no time. So those are running, and now we just have a colossal amount of pipe work to do. And I usually like to do, no matter what, I usually do like a top-down feed just from like a higher pipe above the, like, whatever your solid inputs are. So I mean, that is option number 1, and then option number 2 was, yeah, to run the pipes up onto the roof and then just run them down in from there, which I think would be kind of cool. Let me just try seeing like what a roof on this would look like, and then I'll know a little bit better from there. Okay, so that coal line did get itself all backed up. So now we've swapped over to the second one. And I think I am going to go with the roof idea that I was going with before. So what I've ended up doing is do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that'd be 24 meters. So it's 22-meter gap in between before I started the ceiling, because it'd be 24 up, and then I dropped down by 2. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in a roof for everything, and then that way I can actually go ahead and put the pipes in. Alright, I climbed up the mountain again so I can get a good view. Hopefully I can get up to this lava part again. No, I missed. Oh, I thought I fell down again. Alright, so up around this corner so we can get the good view. There we go. Okay, so roof-ish has been put on. I just wanted like a general idea of what it would look like at least. So I do want to fill in that center section. And then what I'm actually going to do, like I said, is I want to run the pipes up onto the roof. So I think it'll look kind of cool that way. And then we can just pipe the water in and down from above. And then we'll have a little bit more room to move around down below as well. So I'm going to take a little quick break from my recording. You're not going to see this in the video, but we're going to jump ahead to the next day for me. And that's when we are going to do all the water section. So the little editing magic, jump ahead to the next day. And just like that, we got a new day, and we can continue on this coal power plant. So we got the 3 pumps set up down there already. We need a total of 12, because each set of 8 needs their own 3 pumps. Now, so the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to set them all up in little groups of 3 like that. And I'm just going to hop on down there. We'll kind of get these all laid out together. I'm going to try and kind of build it as like one big pump house with all 12 fit inside of them. Obviously, we're not going to be able to fit all 12 going down this way, I don't think. I mean, I guess we'll have to see how many are actually going to fit here. And then we can make some adjustments as necessary. Like I can take out that middle section if I need to, just to kind of group them up better. And then we'll just kind of replan out like the walkway system. And then all the pipes, actually no, I guess I kind of need that because that's where all the pipes are going to come together. And I already have 8 little pipe things lined up, so I knew I had enough room. It's a 2-wide platform. So we can jump on down there and let's get started laying some pipes and the water pumps. All right, so down here at the old water pump station, the way this is going to work is even though we have the 3 pumps set up there, it's actually just going to run into 2 pipes. So you only really need space for 2 pipes on here. So I think what we'll actually do is I will kind of set this up and give myself one more block gap in between, I think, if I can. And then I'd like to line them up so they're directly across from each other. So I'm going to set a pipeline junction down first. That's kind of how I've always just snapped my things in. How close did I put these? Yeah, pretty close. So pretty much almost lined up with the ledge. We hold down Control to get it closer. And then it's about there. A little bit 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Oh, they may need to be pushed back just a little bit. Yeah, I need to push them back. Just a squeeze. And there we go. Just like that, we got 6 water pumps put in. So now I need to just put in another 6. So I think the way I'll do that is I can face some... How much room do I have left here still? Probably enough for... Maybe not another 6, because it'll be too close to the rock. But I can definitely get another 3 in here for sure. Alright, don't worry. I saved you guys the time of watching me have to shift everything over by 1, because otherwise it wasn't going to line up properly. But now, because my... perfectionist in me was like, these should all face the same way, and this looks way cleaner now. So they're all kind of facing that direction. They'll all kind of link up into they'll have their 2 pipes that they'll link up in together. Then that'll be the 8 that run along up here, and then we'll send them up, like I was saying earlier. I'm going to send them up on top of the building, Give it some like a little bit of detail, and then I'm going to pump the water around to each spot that I need to go down to, and then it'll just drop in from the ceiling and feed each one. I think that should work okay. We're going to need a few pumps too, so that should be all right. But yeah, let's head back down there and we'll get started on all this pipe work. Oh, please make it. Ow. All right, who's ready for a sick pipe lane montage? Let's go. Okay, so I don't know, I'll either end the montage here or I'll pause the montage here. So now that I've got my pipes, look at all that pipe work. That looks real clean. So yeah, all that is pumping up the side of the building now. I haven't actually put the pumps on yet. We'll worry about that in a little bit. But I mainly just wanted to talk about how I'm splitting these up. So obviously I've got 6 pipes going this way. So you've got 1, 2, 3 for those groups over there. And then these 2 are piped off to the right because there's just enough room for doing it like this. Give myself a little bit of space to work with up here. I may tighten it up a little bit as we start moving things across the roof, but I think for now these ones are going to split off, go around this way. Actually, I guess this one is going to come and feed in right about here. So my game plan here is to put a floor hole on either side of the coal stacks here, and then we'll be able to pump one pipe down from each end, and then I'll put a pipe that connects them all together in a row of 8, and then we'll just connect them on either end, and that should feed the water in no problem. So let me grab our floor holes. Actually, I guess I should probably figure out where the pipes are going to be down here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by I'll hop down and we'll start off with doing the first one here. It's going to hurt my ankles just a little bit. That's okay. So I think if I do like maybe about here and then crank it all the way up, give myself the maximum amount of height to work with. And then I'm going to want to do that all the way down. Just giving myself, I'll put them down like just every once in a while so I know the pipes can connect together. This might be a little too many, but that's okay. I'd rather have more than not enough. So I feel like usually if you can see that white line, that means the pipes can connect together. So there I see it, here I don't see it. So I'm going to put one right here. Oh, that one's a little short. Okay, I think those should be able to connect together. Oh yeah, no problem. I guess if the line isn't there, it doesn't mean it can't line up, but... Okay, so we got a straight pipe going all the way along here. Then we're going to grab our pipeline junctions, holding control. I was going to snap it right in front of the coal generators here. And grab my horizontal to vertical pipes, starting from the pipe itself. That way it gives it the most, because if I come out from the here, I'll show you the difference why. So you come out from the machine, it goes up like that, and it kind of, it would collide with the belt. So if you do it from the pipe down, that's why horizontal to vertical can be a little finicky sometimes, because it doesn't always, it depends where you're actually connecting the pipe from. And there we go. Just kind of passed the time to the next morning here. So I've got my lines coming down. We got one coming down on this side, another one coming down. So each of these is going to bring over, what do we need? 360 water total. So these should be 180 lines. And it should fill these properly. I mean, I guess we can troubleshoot it in the future if we end up having issues with it. But yeah, I think that should technically work. I mean, I suppose maybe I should try it with one. Like maybe we'll try get just one up and running, and then we can go from there about like how hard it's actually going to be, or how if the water is actually working right. So maybe I can put together enough power just to get 3 water pumps running, and then I would need, what else do I need? There we go. There's one hooked up. Technically they're already fed with coal, so that should make enough power for itself. So I guess really I just have to get a little, actually I suppose I should unturn this one. I guess all I have to do really now is, wait, where's the other hole? There it is. I can get some water pumped into these 2 pipes, then I can at least get the 8 coal generators going, and those should be able to help me power up everything else. Just trying to figure out where I want to bring this so I can turn it. Alright, there we go. So 2 pipes hooked up. So we got one pumping that way, one pumping the other way. So if I can just get those 3 water pumps started using some biofuel generators that we got down here, that should be enough. So I think I'll build, maybe I'll just grab like some bushes and trees and stuff so we can just power them up enough. Because like I was saying, if we can get that water in, I guess we got to power some pumps too. Okay, this might take a little more power than I can actually do. But we'll give it a shot. I can always grab some extra power from back home for kicking up just one of these to get it started, and then I can use one group of 8 to kind of just kickstart the rest of the factory. So now all we gotta do is hook those up to power. We'll just start with those 3 for now, and then that way we can actually get things moving through here. So let's figure out where we're going to need the pumps. So let's head back down there and we'll figure out where our pumps need to go. Alright, I don't have a ton of time. I had to use 3 biomass burners, and I only used leaves because I was too lazy to grab everything. I just wanted to get an idea of how far this water was actually going to flow. See if it actually even gets up to here. Looks like it does. Okay, so I can, if it gets up to here, then I can start actually, I guess just to make things a little easier, we'll just start back here. Make it a little cleaner. So I'll grab a pump here. Try and face it that way. Put another pump here. Facing the same direction. And then I just need to be able to power these as well. So I should have enough power coming from these at least. I don't think that'll overload my system. A little to play with. Let's see how far that actually gets me. Should be able to get to here. Should start the process of getting up here at least. We'll see how far, if it can actually make it up all the way. They're only Mark 1 pumps, right? So they can't go like crazy far. Okay, so it does make it up to here at least. It does make it up here. Does it make it up and over the ledge? If it does, that would be great, because then I don't have to put another pump in until here. Alright, sorry to skip ahead on you guys again, but I figured it out after just a little bit of troubleshooting. I kind of had to find like some of the sweet spots on these pipes to minimize how many pumps I had to use, and I still had to use, well, a whole buttload because I wanted to build this thing so high up in the sky. So we start with everyone's going to need 2 pumps down here. That'll get it up to this point about right here. And this can, like, once we have marked 2 pumps, we can come back and we can kind of dumb this down a little bit. Yeah, so you got pumps all across the board here. A little bit of a tight squeeze, but hey, got to do what you got to do for now, right? And then that sends them up. It got to about right there. So I threw the pumps down right here, and that finishes them all the way up to the top now. So if we go up to this middle floor now, where the coal generators are, they should, in theory, be getting their water supply finally. So you can see it's coming down from above, and it is filling all the pipes all through here. That's perfect. So I guess now we can just go ahead, and sometimes I accidentally activate that. I really just use it just for filming like my intros and stuff. But anyway, what I was saying was, let's get these hooked up to some power lines, and we'll see these actually, see if they actually work, and then we can use that to power up everything else, because I'm just using some biomass generators to power all these things right now, and that's probably not going to last or too much longer. So let's get these. Where do I want to hook the power? Little outlet, I think, is on the back of these things, right? Okay, it sure is. So let's go ahead and climb up on top of one of these. We'll grab ourselves a power line, and then I'm going to put it, I don't want to do it too far back because I did want to put like a, let's see if that's a good spot. Does it clip? Okay, it clips through too much. Actually, maybe I'll just put it towards the back, and then eventually I'll like maybe mount it up on a wall. But I want to put it kind of like back a little bit so I can have a nice little like walking path through the back here. Actually, yeah, I guess if I'm going to put them onto walls, it doesn't really matter for now. So we'll just kind of get this set up and running. That way I know to line them all up in the center. I don't know where these are exactly, but they're close enough that oh, that one's not. I was going to say, I'll get most of these close enough that I'll actually connect them in a pretty straight line to the machine, but that one I did not. And then last one on the end here. Fire these all up. There we go. So now we can finally test to see how this actually comes together. See if it actually works properly. So far I'm seeing the feed come in properly. That's good. Everybody's getting the right amount of coal. So each of these groups that I'm going to turn on is going to give me 600... Is that right? 600 megawatts from each one? Nice. So we'll have 600, 1200... Nice. So we'll have 2400 megawatts coming into this factory. This would be great. Okay, after a little tiny bit more troubleshooting, I have discovered what my lifelong problem has been with hooking up 3 water pumps into 2 pipes. Is that the middle one always ends up getting backed up for something. Like, it's always supplying the amount of, like, proper amount of water it needs, but it ends up somehow overproducing, and it ends up backing up the middle one. So in order to combat that, I just put a little half platform up so that this one is actually raised up. And the reason for that now is that so this water will always flow downwards into that pipe and prioritize filling up that. Instead of the other way it would work before if this was flat, is that water would go that way but also come this way, which would kind of mess everything up. So by having this raised up just a little bit and then flowing down into the other ones, it kind of prioritizes the flow of the water better and actually keeps things from getting backed up. So if you've ever had any issues like I have, that fixes it completely. As far as I can tell anyway. Okay, so now that we've got that all hooked up and running, everything seems to be going well. So let's go ahead and jump back into finishing our pipe work for the roof. And then we can hook everything up. Or actually, here, instead of finishing the pipe work for the roof yet, let me build the remaining pipe stuff inside real quick. Well, I guess I'll just montage it all together. We'll finish the pipe work on the inside and then the pipe work on the roof, and then we should be able to turn everything on together. Alright, look at all those pumps going and everything. Alright, so the water station is up and running. Everything's going to slowly start making its way up. I am just going to jump ahead to when I have finished the pipe work for... We finished the pipe work for all this section, all this front section. Now we just have to do the back section. I'm just going to kind of jump ahead on that because we're kind of pushing probably like 2 hours on this episode or something. It's going to be a long one for me to come back for, that's for sure. But I mean, this was one heck of a project to take on. We went from doing just tiny little things to being like, all right, let's do a sort of medium-sized mega project right off the bat. So yeah, I'm just going to jump ahead to pipework's all done for these ones, and then we'll kind of jump ahead to plugging everything in, and then we'll do a quick recap, and then make sure you guys come back for the following episode. That'll be dropping, I think if this one comes out on Tuesday, the other one will be out on Thursday. Yeah, make sure you guys are ready for that. You guys can come back and check out the cool decorations I'm going to give this in between the episodes. You definitely don't want to miss this one. I think it's going to look really cool. So, jumping ahead to finishing the back pipe work. Oh, look at that. It's finally over. Look at all that pipe work leading up onto the ceiling. Everything's all plugged in, and honestly, I'm pretty proud of myself for getting this whole thing working in 100% efficiency because it's been so long since I played. And if you're a longtime fan of the channel, you'll know that these kind of like beginner projects used to cause me just all sorts of problems. And I would be here troubleshooting things for many hours trying to figure things out. But this time, we're 100% efficient. We're ready to go. Everything's all plugged in. So I'm going to head on down back into my little water. Actually made the slide there this time. Perfect. And I'm back down in here. Oh, down into the water. If I can get back up here, maybe. There we go. So we've got all our water pumps and everything running at 100% efficiency. Everything's all working down here. Like I've had problems with in the past where I haven't been able to get my water pumps all working, but this time I'm a master. So we can head up into the actual power facility here now. Let me just get a little... There we go. So here we are in the actual facility itself. So you've got all your 4 groups of 8 coal generators here, all of which are being fed the water from above, which seems to be working out perfectly so far. Got our 2 miners down here feeding our very, very useful logistics. So much space down here still. I mean, potentially we could even add some stuff in here into the future. Like I said, we still have these 2 coal spots here, and I don't think I'd really go through the effort of adding more coal power to this plant. I think what I would actually do is I'll probably just scoop that up and maybe just send it over, maybe a little further over this way, or maybe build like a steel production into this building somehow, but probably we'll just end up like sucking up all the materials and sending them somewhere else. But as far as I can tell, let's take a little look at a power pole here. We have 100% efficiency at a capacity of 16.8. Wait, what? That's not right. Hold, please. There we go. I forgot to hook up the other set of generators there, so I was like, wait, where'd half my power go? So now we have a total capacity of 2880. We're making 2400 from this spot alone. That extra 480 is coming from our base back home, which I'm probably just going to take that out and utilize that space elsewhere. Also, I can't remember if I showed you guys, but actually, oh, thanks for the quick wire, Carl. Appreciate you. I found just randomly there happened to be a little lizard doggo wandering around underneath my building. So I was like, well, while I'm here, I might as well grab him. I don't want to take him all the way back to the main base because that would be a pain in the butt. So I'm just going to kind of leave him here and grab stuff as I need it. But that is everything. So here's all the pipe work up on the roof here. I kind of, not every group of 3 is feeding the same like group of 8. So like some, I kind of split them up a little bit just to keep the pipes as clean as possible. But everything is running across the top now. I think this looks kind of cool. This is my first time ever trying something like this, and it's kind of what I'm using this playthrough for, is try some new things. You know, maybe come up with some new ideas and some fresh things to try out. But so far, I'm really digging. This is definitely the most crazy coal power plant I've ever put together. And like I said, make sure you come back for the next episode, see how I decorate this bad boy. And then we'll probably be moving on, hopefully with some of the space elevator stuff, and working our way into actually getting, you know, unlocking oil, getting plastic, all that kind of fun stuff. You know, we just got to finish our first round of the space elevator, and we'll pretty much be done. I think we're almost ready to go. We could pretty much just hand feed some assemblers to finish this off, and then we'll be all ready to go. So thank you guys again so much for coming back for another episode. I know it's been a little while, and I appreciate you if you're especially if you're still here at the end. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Exhaustion is not covered by Fix-It Pioneer Health Plan, nor is Pioneer Health. Well, I guess that's the game telling me to finally stop playing for the day. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming back once again. If you got any ideas or fun stuff I can try, let me know in the comments down below. I will be back. This is definitely not the last time you'll see me again. We'll be back and continue this series, and I'm also hoping to bring back like Card Shop Simulator and like all sorts of other fun stuff for you guys. So I'll see you guys in the next one.